stream time. As you said, you're new, and we met earlier this week. So I do Sims gameplay on Tuesdays. I do a random cozy game that's not Sims every Wednesday. And I do Sims building on Thursdays. So it's a very regular schedule for me. But yeah, welcome in. Welcome to the cozy community, the cozy Lotus Pond. I've got Leo here, but he's not in my lap. Leo is my cat. His full name is Leonardo da Vinci. He is almost 7 months old. And so he's next to me on my little poof that I have near the desk. That's both a bed for him and a footrest for me when I want. So, but yeah, we're gonna dive into build mode. Yeah, I'm glad you like that. Like I said, oh wait, you coming up, Leo? So here he is. This is my kitty cat. Say hi, Leo. But yeah, so but yeah, so this is our thing, and I will move into the gameplay. Welcome in, Orange. How are you doing tonight? And how are you, Sweet Pea? Yes, this is Leo. He's our mascot. All my emotes I chose because they look a bit like him. And yeah, so we're gonna get started on building today. Later we'll tour a shell I finished over the weekend off stream. I did that one for Fresh Picks Brutal B-Day Challenge. But tonight we're gonna start working on Neptune Whim's 1,000 follower shell challenge. She's a good friend of mine online, and so yeah, we're gonna move right over here. I'm gonna build this one in Oasis Springs. It's been a while since I've been here, and the idea I have goes really, really well with the desert. But yeah, please tell me about you guys' day. I'd love to hear about it. If you had anything particularly good happen, I'd love to celebrate with you. And if anything bad happened, I hope that we can make things just a little bit better. But yeah, so this is Neptune Whim's 1,000 follower shell challenge. So I'm not allowed to change any of these platforms out in front or any of the exterior walls. So we've got the 1K at the top. Your day was okay, can't complain. Well, you know, sometimes days are like that where it's just kind of like meh, but you know, you made it through the day, and that's worth, you know, sometimes those are the hardest days to get through because you don't really feel like you have to be tough, but it's not an easy day either. So, you know, pat yourself on the back, Sweet Pea. You made it through the day. It may not have been a spectacular day or a terrible day, but you lived, and living is always something to celebrate. What do I think of the new castle pack? You know, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't built with it yet. Yeah, I have not built with the new castle kit. I did buy it, but I have not built with it yet, and I wasn't planning on using it for this shell. So I'm sure I'll use it at some point. I've built a couple different castles, which you can find on my gallery. My gallery ID is the exact same as my Twitch ID, so I'm really easy to find. But yeah, I've built a couple castles, the latest of which being another friend of mine's shell challenge, Late Blooma's shell challenge. I made into a castle, but I've built 2 other castles a while ago and they're on my gallery. Opals, welcome in. Have your students started to behave themselves at all, or are they still being awful for you? Leo, I'm gonna need my finger, baby. All right. Yeah, today was better. Well, I'm so glad to hear that. And we got a new shell challenge here to start. All my friends are releasing shell challenges right now, so it feels like that's all I'm building at the moment, but I really do enjoy shell challenges. I feel like they bring out a more creative side. It helps keep me from getting in a rut of building the same thing over and over again. Now, this one, my idea for was to do an Adobe style, which is particularly a style from the Southwest US, which is actually where I live currently. I didn't grow up here, but this is where I live. And so that's kind of the idea I'm thinking I'm gonna roll with, is doing kind of like a Southwest inspired Adobe style home. Somehow we're gonna change this enough to make it look like an Adobe style home. We're gonna see how that works out. Because I'm not really sure how I'm gonna manage it yet, but that's my inspiration at the moment. But Oranged, I will say what I have seen of other people using the castle kit is that I really like it. I do, and I've heard other people say this, but from what I see, it would have been nice to have a couple like very castle-y furnishing items, maybe. Something like a throne, like a proper throne or something for a castle. Or, you know, something like that. That you only really find in a castle. Or it would have been nice to have just a tiny bit more, but from what I've seen, the elements of it are really, really good. So, all right, we're gonna try and figure out how to turn Neptune's shell into an Adobe style home. I have very little pack limitation for this build, thankfully, because I'm gonna need to use these wall hunks here to create. So I'm gonna just put at least one here. Some characteristics of Adobe builds. They're very organically shaped, typically, because they were typically made by hand with clay. They're made for a desert environment, and so they're made to insulate the cool and keep the heat out. But you'd have these like posts that would kind of make up the base of the roof. So these might end up getting raised just a little bit, but this is just gonna give me a little bit of an idea to start with. But a really cool thing about like Adobe structures is they're a really old form of building. I might ramble a little bit. I'm a total Wikipedia geek. I go on rabbit trails and dives through Wikipedia fairly frequently where it's like I read an article and I'll click a link in that article and that'll take me somewhere else to learn about something. And so I am full of useless knowledge. Knowledge that I will never practically apply in my life, but I have nonetheless. Not quite Jeopardy champion levels of knowledge, I would say. But we can create a perfect room, my kids. But yeah, so we got Orange, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Cozy Lotus Pond. But yeah, like I said, where was I going? Little ADD there. But Adobe structures are a really old type of building. The Native Americans were the first ones, and I believe also the native groups from Mexico were the first ones to create the Adobe structure. And so it's very prevalent throughout Mexico and southwest, southern US, South Texas, and such. Kay, welcome and thank you for contributing a total of 4,000 lotus petals to the Community Games Day Challenge. How are you? How was your day? Please let me know. So somehow, yes, somehow I'm gonna turn this into an Adobe home. We'll see. I might have to look at more reference pictures. You're good. How am I? I'm also good. You know, I had a pretty good, very productive day at work. And now I get to hang out with you guys and build. And to me, there's nothing better than that, pretty much. So you're also working on Neptune's shell, building buddies. I'm happy to build with you. Do you have a specific inspiration, if you want to share, of what you're doing with the shell? Let us know if you would like, or if you'd like to keep it closer to the chest, that's fine too. The building buddies, biddies buddies, late buddies. We're just buddies in general. That's right, Kay. We're besties. Let's see. You're doing Italian-inspired build. I love that. I'm looking forward to that. Using a lot of reference pictures. I know. I feel like I'm probably going to be doing a lot of back and forth for this one too. Even though I live in the Southwest, and this is a Southwest kind of style build that I've decided to do, I'm still going to end up doing a lot of reference pictures, I believe. Just because, like, I've never lived in one, and we'll see. I'd like to try and stay true, if I can, to the style. Let's see. Now, thankfully, because Adobe's pretty much always either had a dome roof or a flat roof, I don't have to worry about roofing too much on this shell. I'm just going to do platform roofing, I think. And we're going to... work. And that's how it's going to be. Just do some good platform type roofing. See if I can get this to look slightly more organically shaped. I think we're going to end up doing kind of a courtyard too for the front of it. So we will see how that goes. Just going to quickly turn these into platforms. These walls will not be staying. Just gotta lift it up and get rid of the walls. And do it again. Might even add like a ladder up to the roof, because that was really common in a lot of ancient Adobe structures as well. So that could be a fun little touch. Okay. And I'm realizing that when I did the other things, I forgot to delete those little extra bits of ceiling. Okay, got that. Gotta finish this bit. It'll be a kind of a weirdly shaped Adobe, but it'll be an Adobe style nonetheless. But yeah, I'll probably look at reference pictures from Google intermittently just to make sure I'm on the right track with style to try and be as authentic as possible. Oopsies. Undo. There we go. Okay, fixed. Platform roof. Check. Maybe, let's see. Can we add additional platforms? Let's look at the gallery rules. Let's see. Half walls and fences may be used outside. She did not say platforms could be used outside, so I will not do that. I will work around. Okay, I'm gonna take a brief moment, glance over at some reference photos here. I think I went overboard with the post, so I think we're gonna remove a few, but we're also gonna lift them up to be a little further up. Let's see. That one reminds me a little bit. Okay. Ideas. Ideas are flowing. I think I'm gonna remove these ones. Let's look at some stucco. I might be able to use this to help make some more organic shapes. So I'm going to leave this out here for later. Domino, welcome in. Thank you for contributing a total of 5,455 lotus petals to the Community Games Day Challenge. Let's see. Okay, well, she has most of the packs. Like, she has all the expansion packs. There's a couple, like, let's see. She doesn't have wedding stories. I wrote it down to reference. There's only a couple things she doesn't have. She doesn't have wedding stories or home chef. And the kits that she has are Country Kitchen, Industrial Loft, and Desert Luxe. Well, yeah. Avoiding using, like, wedding stories is one of the reasons I thought, well, maybe I'll go more of a desert-y kind of vibe, because she has stuff like that. Alright, let's look at some stone. Should be under stone. Masonry, maybe? We need stucco. Stucco. Sand mixed concrete wall. That's from the Desert Luxe kit. I don't like that. It's not a very good stucco. Let's see. Oh, here. Jungle Adventure. And then we just gotta do, like, platform trim. This looks like a good entry point in my book. Let's see. Just a door, I think. I hope. Well, you'll know when you save it to your library. Save it to your library first, and you'll know. Let's see. Might adjust that a little bit later. Let's see. Cray, welcome in. How are you? Thank you for contributing a total of 6,296 channel points to the Community Games Day Challenge. Wow, you guys are getting really close. We might need to plan. If you guys get it, I might need to plan for not this Saturday. That's too soon. But next Saturday, I might have to just plan that might be the game day challenge. She has for rent. Yes. Or at least... Well, she didn't list it, but let's see. When did she upload it? She uploaded it after For Rent came out. So yeah, she should have it then. Because she would have said no this on the upload if she didn't have it. I think I remember her doing something. So yeah, you should be good there. Okay. Let's see, let's look at some more platform trims. Let's see, permanent. Painted. Okay. We're gonna keep kind of a stony kind of a vibe here. Let's see. She doesn't have that one. I can't use that one. Concrete. Sidewalk. There. That just ruins it. Like, this lines up perfectly, though. So it's like, how can I make this work? Because I'm really liking this wavy edge kind of look. How do I make it a reality? That's gonna cause clipping. I don't know. If I made it consistent, then it's just like a double wave kind of effect, and that might work. Create some interest. We can try and cover up some of the clipping with some hanging plants. I don't think I'll be able to do it for that side, though. There's just not enough room. Got it. I might put a ladder right here, actually. I do it as the... No, that one's not gonna work. Ladder must be... Come on. Just want to have a ladder. You're gonna do a bit of lurking and possibly building. I love that. We're building together. Let us know what you build, Domino. Wait. It almost worked. Come on. Oh my gosh, Neptune, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid while I'm working on your shell. Welcome in. So, hello Neptune. Hello again, Kay. Hello Dreamy Selves. If you are new here, and let me give a quick shout out to Neptune Wims. I love you so much. And hi Bluma, welcome in. But yeah, if you are, let's see, if you are new here, and if you're not already, please follow Neptune Wims. She's come by to support our lovely little community. And so, yeah, I mean, I love being in Neptune's streams, hanging out there. She does a lot of casts, some gameplay, some building, and she does some like Dreamlight Valley type stuff too. But if you're new here to me, welcome. It's good to have you. I'm Ren, and I am a cozy Twitch streamer. So I'm a lot of cozy vibes, lo-fi tunes. I do Sims gameplay on Tuesday, Sims building on Thursday, and every Wednesday I do a random cozy game. So if that is your sort of vibe, feel free to join us anytime. You're always welcome. And but yeah, and if any of you need to raid and run, especially you Neptune, since you just finished streaming, and how was your stream? How was the rest of stream? Because I missed the end. I'm still not used to getting raids, so I'm not always fully in order on the things I should be doing. But Neptune, how was your stream? Please tell me all about it. I want to cover my screen, but doing this won't do anything for you. But yeah, I'm working on your shell. You're just here to spy. I see how it is. But you know, seeing my builds in the very beginning only gives a very small indication of what they're going to be like at the end. So I really don't mind showing Neptune that I am making in Adobe. This is as far as we've gotten so far. But I can also take this moment to dip out of Neptune's and tour the last shell that I finished that I was planning on showing off in this stream, because I finished it off stream over the weekend, last weekend. So yeah, for Neptune's, we're working on an Adobe structure. We're going to take a quick break, head to Manage Worlds, and I will give you guys a tour of the last shell that I finished for Fresh Pick. It was good. You've created a sim for Ira named Galileo. Call him Leo like your cat. Oh, that's cute. I love that. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, like I said, I'm a little ADD, and so I get a little scatterbrained sometimes when thoughts are interrupted. But yeah, and if you need to raid and run, I totally understand. Self-care comes first, because if you don't care for yourself, you can't care for anybody else. But yeah, let's do a quick diverge, since pretty much all my closest Twitch friends are here at the moment, and I will show off the build I did for Fresh Pick's birthday build challenge. So this is it. And he might be touring it on stream. I checked and he hadn't gotten to mine on the tours last night. So, yeah, it's a very modern sort of build. I had a lot of fun actually with the landscaping on this and getting it to blend in really well with the rest of Copperdale. So it's right across from the pier. We got a sports car in the front because these people are fancy, capital F, and little like pretty kind of oasis feng shui type of pond. Gives you Cullen family vibes. You know, I've never watched Twilight, so I don't entirely know that. I don't entirely get that reference, but I was inspired by Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water, which is a mid-century modern sort of build. But yeah, so we've got like a little carport driveway that goes around, and let me switch to this mode so we can let's walk past the car. Right. Opal's read the book. She says it does. Okay, cool. And I always forget to paint the ceilings because I never see them in my gameplay. But I don't think it's bad to have them just be white. So we go through our little doorway. We've got, let's see, zoom out a little. We got a little entryway, a little coat closet. This is our entryway with the platforms up to the staircase. Grand piano, because again, fancy. And we'll go down the hall first, because I made the living area downstairs. So, it is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So we've got this bathroom here. And then the next door would be here, which is the master bedroom. And the master bathroom, Fresh gave us a very odd shape in this corner, so as a result, we have a fairly odd shaped bathroom. But I think it worked out all right. Toilet one way, sink the other. Bathtub in the middle, nice big soaking bathtub. And then go in here, and we have a teen bedroom. Set up. But let's go upstairs, shall we? Let's see. Aw, thank you, Opals. It's a lot of practice and watching other amazing builders like Bluma and Kay and Micah and all my friends. So here we are. We walk right up and there's our kitchen with its, let's see. Blue, I remember right there. Okay. Remember the controls. So yeah, we've got our kitchen with a bar. I'm a big fan of a pop of color in the kitchen, so I went with blue on this one. And we have a very planty corner here. Looks like we actually lost some plants at some point, but little book corner. We've got the nice mid record player here, and I will go to this corner before I go outside. So here we've got a little corner, fireplace. Keeping that kind of modern to mid-century vibe going. Out here we have our deck and patio, a grill, a dining area. And then if we go into this little tower here, we've got a little nook of books, and then going, oop, wrong way, up the ladder. Oop, too far. Too far. Sorry about that. We've got a little desk nook. Nice and secluded. Nothing but us and a view. And yeah, so that is the build, the inside. And then the outside, like I said, is fairly simple on the landscaping. I put some trees, did some terrain painting, and see. I definitely want to use this rustic archway later. Why is it doing that? Oh my gosh. Seriously, Neptune? Did you seriously? You did! Oh my goodness. It's too short. It's got the door all the way up here. How am I supposed to work with that? Wow, Neptune. Here I was thinking, oh, this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad. I can work with this. And then I get thrown this. And I'm just like, what? Why is this so low? Like, why is it so high? I don't remember it being like this for yours. Maybe I need to just, let's see. It'll probably be better if I raise... Hi, Ellie. Welcome in. That ruins all sorts of stuff. Now that's the wrong look. That's the wrong look. How am I gonna make this work? I might have to turn it. Let's play around a little. Let's see. What if... But yeah, Ellie, how are you? You finally feeling better? I know you streamed last night. You sounded a lot better then. Oh no. Oh no, what? I planned for this to be the front. It's fine. It's fine. I can work with it. What's oh no, Ellie? The house, oh no. It is a shell challenge, so this is kind of expected. But do you just not like Adobe style? The shortness. I mean, Adobes are usually kind of short. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the orientation because I didn't realize exactly how much floor Neptune had taken off by raising the floor inside so high. That's causing me issues. That's going to cause me issues. So... But I didn't want to make the walls higher because then it looks really weird. Like, it doesn't really fit. Like, it looks strange. It doesn't really fit the Adobe style anymore. I didn't think we were allowed to lower the floor inside, Bluma. Ellie, I'm so glad you're feeling better. I'm looking at the rules. Maybe trim at the bottom. Yeah, I'm looking at the rules. Platforms and walls outside must stay as they are. Oh, so maybe we can change it inside. You may add interior walls and platforms. Okay, so you're right. I can lower. She didn't write that I couldn't change. Let's see. Platforms and walls outside must stay as they are. Okay. All right, you're good, Bluma. Don't worry. Yeah, you're good, Bluma. And that means that I am saved because that means I can lower this the frick down. I might actually make it a little extra low, or I will do like a lower platform, I think, for part of it. But there. Oh, that's a relief. I can have it actually match up. All right, back to looking for a blue door. I gotta fix these. All right, let's figure out what windows we're going to use too. Adobes tend to have a traditional Adobe tends to have fairly small windows, and this is because they are designed to block out the heat in the desert, which means not letting a ton of light in. But let's see. Jungle Escape has some really cool windows, I think, that are going to go very well with this, though. That's got a wall. Ellie, thank you for contributing a total of 2,000 Lotus Petals to the Community Games Day Challenge. These are nice. Not traditionally Adobe style. These are from the For Rent pack, so they're really more Southeast Asian in style than Southern North America. They are very pretty though. We'll consider them as an option. I'm gonna look at my reference pictures really quick. A lot of square sort of windows or very round windows for the more organically shaped. Yeah, okay, looking for smaller. Oh, thank you, Ellie. I really appreciate it. It's my first time building in this style. So we're gonna do the best we can. All right, yeah, we need like small, kind of squarish sort of windows. These would be fairly accurate to historical from the Island Living pack. They don't actually let any light in as they are. Or we wanted, we could do something more like these. I could even make them blue framed to match the door. And see. This is the sort of thing you have like this or like this. My gut would say like this initially, but then I second guessed myself. Let's start looking and thinking about floor plans. I can make that into a bathroom. Let's see, I think there is, from the Desert Luxe kit, a really great... So this or this. I wish they were just slightly more organically shaped. But we can work with this. And lean towards the one with the tile. Thank you for the lurk, Ellie. Alright. Since I already have the ladder outside, I might actually replace this with another door. I kind of like the idea of using this one from the movie. Okay. Let's see. It's just so bright and colorful. And the blues match, which is nice. Okay. Yeah, and since we already have this out here, I don't think I'm going to end up bothering really with Stairs. I'm gonna skip stairs. They take up a lot of space. And if I already have the ladders, which would have been more traditional for like the original Adobes anyway, even if like modern Adobes obviously have stairs these days. So okay. Let's think about some like some railing maybe. Maybe like this one. But I think Adobe's tended to just stay kind of more organic. This leads more into like Spanish Mission rather than Adobe. So, let's see. Let's look at some stairs for this part. These ones have nice tiles. I'm gonna admit this song is kind of creeping me out, so I'm gonna skip it. See. This really is a better one for outdoors because it doesn't really go up to the ceiling. Then again, neither does this one when it's down here. But again, I think this one just leans a little bit closer to the Adobe style versus Spanish Mission. So I'm kind of towing a line between the styles with this build. Let's see. Hi, Meg. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Just working on Neptune's shell challenge. Trying to decide on some elements. I lean towards this one, I think. Okay. You need some chill vibes tonight. Been gone all day. Well, I'm happy to be your place for chill vibes. Like I said, we're doing Neptune's shell challenge. I've decided to go kind of an Adobe style build as my route of choice. And so that is where we are at for the moment. Just kind of figuring out some elements. Eventually there'll be a courtyard out front. Like I said, I'm kind of like towing the line a little between like Adobe and Spanish Mission because honestly they merged a lot at one point in history, so there is a pretty fine line between Spanish Mission and Adobe style. So I'm trying to toe that line. Hi Leo, you gonna come say hi? You gonna come say hi to everybody? Here's Leo. Come on, Leo. Look up. Look up. There you are. Now you're on the camera. Alright. Look at some other colors of this. Maybe that one. And just kind of figuring out at the moment where things are gonna go. Forgot that I was putting a bathroom there. That was the original intent. But I could also put a bathroom here. Kind of. No, it doesn't like that very much. I mean, I could do like that and then just have a little bit of negative space. And this could be the bathroom. Or this can be the bathroom. This is going to be the kitchen. I know that. I could do this, and then I could have like a little nook here. Maybe like a reading nook or something. That could work. Throw some lights in for the moment just so everybody can see exactly what I'm doing. That's a ground light. Hi, Neptune. Thank you for the lurk. Let's see. This is what I wanted. Get some light in here so I can actually see what I'm doing and you guys can see what I'm doing. Yes, yes. All right. Okay. Starting to kind of figure out a plan here. change the color of the starting to get kind of a feel for where I'm going with this. Let's look at some half walls. Maybe slightly taller half walls. There we go, perfect. Cray, thank you so much for the lurk. Okay. Let's think about this. Think about this. Maybe we can stick a chess table in this corner. I'm the type that tends to do furniture and then figure out floor and walls. I know a lot of people do it the other way around. I'm just not one of them. I tend to kind of get a feel for what the actual space is going, and then I figure out what goes with what I've put together. Let's see here. And I can put a TV. Maybe we'll move the couch over so it's a little more centered. There we go. And then, see, look at the bookshelves. This one's even got succulents by it, so we can use that. Maybe even on both sides, just different colors. Plant. Already got a couple plants in mind that would go well. There's this lovely potted. There. Look for a good, yeah, there we go. Okay. Rugs. I have one in mind. This is the one. And I think the default color that it comes in is pretty good. That or the yellow and white are probably, or the plain cream color. So those are kind of the three I'm looking at. Maybe not the yellow, so it's this one or this one. I think we're gonna go with that one, at least to start with. So let's throw down a coffee table. Maybe not that one. That one's a little humongous. Oh, I love the drumbeat coffee table, though. Yeah. Thank you, Ellie. And yeah, I really like the drumbeat coffee table. Let's look. It is small, but I can size it up. And let's see. More subtle. Oh, maybe not. But I feel like something much bigger than that might be too much for the space. So that's option 1 for coffee table. Put that to the side. Because it is just slightly smaller. There's this one, but it is also huge. We got the Desert Luxe one, which is about the same size as the Drumbeat one, just stone instead. Yeah, this one, again, huge. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the other coffee tables are just going to make this space look and feel very small. When you have a small space, sometimes it's better to size down the furniture too, so that it all just looks bigger in general. Because yeah, all the normal sized coffee tables are pretty much, well, I guess we could go with this one too. It's got the little runner on it, which isn't terrible, but change the color. All right, that color is an option. Okay, that's option 2. But I feel like it's a little redundant with the runner and the rug. Like it just looks a little, I don't know. You can go more modern with like a glass table instead. Let's see. Actually, I can't use that one. Neptune does not have that kit. Let's see. We could use this one, but it doesn't really fit the style. We could do this one, which is more of like a basic coffee table. Slats, which isn't bad. All right, so I'm going to remove this one from an option. Save this one. Here's the mirrored one. So that's an option. And there's the one with grass underneath it. Which actually matches very, very well with the colors. But maybe not the style. All right, so we've got 4 options. Got option 1, which we'll say is this one with the grass underneath. Option 2 is the more plain slats coffee table. Option 3 is this one with the painted flowers on it and the mirror top. And option 4 is the little round one, which now, compared to the others, I think might be just a bit too small. Anyone have thoughts? 1 through 3? It is a tough choice. They all work in their own ways. I'm not sure this one matches the style. This one is a lot more modern, where the look we're going for is a bit more on the traditional side. This kind of fits in that it's more of kind of your basic coffee table, and simplicity is always stylish. You liked the drum, Ellie? And then the mirror one has an appeal as well, though the pattern against pattern is not always the best choice. But mirrors are great for small spaces. But I think we can get rid of that one. And let's see, which drum did I have? This was the drum coffee table. I think I'm going to eliminate this one because of the style discordance. So that kind of leaves us with the drum and the slats. Bluma voted already, so yeah, slats, drum. I feel like the slats might fit the space just slightly better, but we might be able to use this drum though, Ellie, in this little nook I was planning. So let's put that over there for now, because I can probably use it for like a little nook space and we'll still use it. But I am leaning more towards the slats because I like how they're directionally kind of pointing and leading the eye towards the fireplace. All right, let's figure out some wall colors. And floor. I want to look at some stuccos. Let's see. Oh, I can't use that one. Yeah, the slats fit well, and like I said, they have that leading the eye effect, which I'm enjoying. But let's keep the drum over here, because I was planning kind of like a little like planty reading nook in this corner, and we can probably use the drum there, and it'll fit that space just a little bit better. Let's look here. Love this house style. You dream of going to Joshua Tree. I've never actually been to Joshua Tree, but it's on my list as well, so I hope you get out there. I know you probably did that a long time ago and I just missed it. So I'm sorry for that. Hopefully you're still here. Okay, so we got that one. We got this one. I feel like this one works just slightly better. Joshua Tree is gorge. Good to know. Maybe we can use this pot in this corner. I've never used this pot. It's actually base game, if you can believe it. You wouldn't guess it. Oh my gosh, there's one with a parrot. Well, that's cute. White one's fun. Heck yeah, we can use this. We can use this all over the place. Thinking of sticking the umbrella thing inside, like as if the umbrellas were in the pot. I think I'm gonna use that one for there. Then I'm gonna go grab the umbrellas and I'm gonna stick it inside. In fact, I'm gonna stick multiple ones in different colors so it just looks like there's a ton of umbrellas in the pot. Claudia, thank you for contributing a total of 1,000 lotus petals to the Community Game Day Challenge. And thank you for the lurk. There, now it just looks like there's a heck of a ton of umbrellas. And then I'm gonna grab this standing coat rack. And then let's look here for some more stone. Some kind. Might use this through. That might be too busy. So we could also use like this. In which case I don't really need. Cut this off. Let's grab a light as well for this corner. Even if it's just like a little wall light. I'll just cover up the clipping with a little bit of clutter. Cool. Alright, I like that. We need a bowl of fruit, for sure. For sure. I'm just gonna search fruit so I can get them consolidated. All the bowls of fruit. That one's pure gold. That's not helpful. I like the big bowl. Try not to forget a kitchen trash can. We need more kitchen style trash cans. Like, why don't we have any really with like the little step lid? You know what I'm talking about? I feel like we need more of those. Less of kind of the typical waste basket. There, perfect. Cutting board next to the fruit. Yeah, like the only one we have is the diaper bin that has both the step and the lid. And then the cute kit or whatever has a step but no lid. No, like, what is the point of having the little step? There's no lid. Why the step? It makes no sense. But yeah, we need more like actual kitchen style garbage. Because honestly, I don't know very many people whose kitchen garbage is like this. And just open. Yeah, why are you stepping exactly on this one? Like, there's no point to step. There's a step, but there's no point to step. There's no lid for the step to be triggering. Just for funsies, Bluma. It's just for kicks and giggles. Is you're gonna step, but nothing's gonna happen. It's like, did they forget to add a lid to that one? I wonder sometimes about the EA team. But yeah, like in the kitchen, like I don't know like anybody who has a trash can that looks like this in their kitchen. Personally, like everybody's got at least a lid, even if you don't have one with a footstep, you've got one with a push button on the lid to open it up. Because you don't want the stinky trash smelling up the whole kitchen. Especially if you have pets. You can't have an open garbage like this if you have pets. You just can't. We have no lid, but we keep it in a garage, or else kiddos play. Exactly. Nobody has one without a lid in their kitchen, though, that I'm aware of. Or very, very few. Or if it's without a lid, it's usually because it's got one of those fancy, like, cabinets for the trash. You know what I'm talking about? So, like, we need more trash cans, but it's okay. I figured it out just because I used the really, really fancy trash can to make it into like looking like a cutting board, but it's still functional. Oh, and for Bluma, of course, we've got to add the smoke alarm. And hide in a corner here. We'll put the little fire prevention system. Only you can stop kitchen fires. Of course, Bluma. Only you! That's right. That's right. Only you can stop kitchen fires. But, and, yeah, so we're gonna... I like how the kitchen looks. We just gotta clutter it up a little bit. Leo, that's not good for you. Stop that. I'll give you some ear scratches. But, yeah, and so... Got that. I'm liking how this is turning out. I feel like we need a little entry rug here. You know, the sort of thing for wiping the feet. It is a pet peeve of mine when people like track their shoes in, like you just cleaned and then they track their shoes in and stuff. It's like they're a guest, so you don't want to be rude, but at the same time people just like tracked all sorts of dirt and stuff right into your home. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? Little welcome mat. There we go. Let's see. The only other one we could do is this one might fit a little better. It's just kind of like the basic base game half moon one. There we go. I'm gonna leave it as brown because I feel like too light and it's pointless because you're gonna see all the dirt. Alright, cool. I feel like we need something right here. Maybe an art or a plant, maybe like a tall plant. Like this maybe. It's cutting into the wall a little bit. Hold on. Get better angle, get it out just slightly. There we go, that fills the space nicely. Let's just check the pot colors. Plain white, black and white, the yellow and blue, plain blue. I honestly like the brown. Ties in some different things that we're seeing. All right, back to cluttering the kitchen because I'm always so everywhere with everything and I can never stay focused on one room for long. That's why I end up with a bunch of half-finished rooms all at the same time. Ooh, maybe we'll do this like drink tray over here. And then where is a coffee pot? These people definitely drink coffee. It might even have like a stainless steel coffee maker. Maybe like right here next to the fridge. Or I really want, I'm gonna use this trick that maybe I can't do it without tool mod. Okay. Look at clutter. I'm gonna take a drink. Hmm. Okay. Hmm.
I grew up in London. I grew up in East London. I was originally from Forest Gate. I grew up in what you'd call government housing. So we call it the hood, whatever. But yeah,
All right, let's look for some lighting fixtures to fit this.
projects. Okay, we call it the hood.
Oh, it's a good chance to use these.
Call it the hood.
Keep kind of a baskety theme. Let's see. For the kitchen.
Call it the hood. Call it the hood. I grew up in London. I grew up in East London. A place called. Call it the hood. I grew up in what you'd call government housing. So we call it the hood, whatever. But yeah, I grew up in a council estate. So yeah, projects, whatever you call them.
Okay. There we go. Mm. There we go. Then I want to add one of those like little ergonomic rugs. You know, the type like when you know you're gonna be standing in the kitchen for a long time and stuff. Yeah, this one. The decaf underfoot mat. They hand wash their dishes, so alright, and then see if there's something small, some sort of decoration or whatnot that I can put like here. Maybe. Oh, I definitely need the aprons. There we go. Oh, thank you, Ellie. Yeah, I think it's starting to look pretty good. Okay. We could have this, or we could have these. think I like the plates just a little bit more in this instance. Mm. Sweet pea, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you. And anyone else who is silently lurking, thank you. Okay. Alright, we should work on this bathroom, I think. I think I'll do the same shale tile as the main area. And then... Okay. Wish we had a hammock. We really should have gotten a hammock in Island Living, and we didn't. We were robbed. Alright. Here's what I want to look at. There we go. Here, let's do it like this, though, because if I do it like this, then I can better fit than the toilet, which we are going to use this one. And the vanity, which I believe we are going to use... that one. Maybe. Or maybe this one. And then we can also stick like a little linen cabinet type in this corner. And maybe a plant. Because when in doubt in The Sims, add more plants. Let's see, we need a light switch. Where to go? Well, we can add this light switch instead. So, light switch, we need a mirror. a little small. Hmm. Toilet paper roll. Hand soap. We need a hand towel as well. Alright, let's look at a plant. Okay, and then okay. Got that, and then I'm just gonna cool. Alright. That does the bathroom. So the last thing we have for this floor that's inside is this little nook. So let's look at our seats. Let me find a really skinny bookshelf, maybe. Here's this one. But it's really more of a locker than a bookshelf. What else we got? Here, oh, can't use that one. She doesn't have that kit. Here, we can use this though. Let's look and see about a different pastel too, maybe. There we go. That makes it a little bit more cozy. Now we need a light, a good light. Hmm. That could work. Cool, cool, cool. All right. I think we've got the first floor basically done at this point. So let's move up to the second floor and figure out what the heck we're gonna do with that 1 in K. All right. What we're gonna do with this? Let's refer to the rules. Remember if we can change the division making the 1 in K. Let's see. Platforms and walls outside must stay how they are. You may add interior walls and platforms, half walls and fences may be used up. You in your tower. Try that again. Welcome back from ads. If you had ads and stuck around, I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the stream. I haven't missed much. I've just been continuing working on putting these little bits to create kind of a organic wave along the edge of the roof. There we go. All right, gotta figure out what we're doing here. It didn't say, there was nothing in the rules that said I could not destroy this wall and create my own interior floor plan for this. So I believe that's what we will do. Now, what exactly we're going to do with this, that is the question. It is the burning question. And then I'm going to try and turn this really awkward shape into a bathroom. Like so. That'll give me enough room to have a sink, a shower, and a toilet. There's a little extra room involved, but we can make it work. Then we'll do a bedroom. And that might be it. I might be only able to fit one bedroom in this. Despite the fact that we have this massive dining table, and it looks like this should be the start of a really big home that has like 4 bedrooms. That's not gonna happen. There's just not enough square footage in this build to do that much. It's currently looking like it's gonna be a 1 bedroom, 2 bath, as weird as that might be. To add another saucer light over here. If I move this to here, I might be able to squeeze in a children's bedroom. Just barely. Which will probably make bunk beds given the size of the table downstairs. It implies a bigger family. So this way we can have at least a family of 4. You assume some family visits. That'll succeed in making it into a 2-bed, 2-bath. Okay. So we need one there, one there. There we go. All right, we'll do it like that. I think we're gonna do wooden floors on this floor here. Micah, hello, how are you? How was your day? You just got home from talking to so many people. Ooh, I bet you're just like entirely socialized out. I would be in that situation. That's how I felt at my company's convention after every single day. Was just like, I need to not be around people. But you feel good, good. I'm also good. You know, we're just working on Neptune's shell and it's actually going really quickly. So I'll give you a quick little tour. So we're doing Adobe style for this build for Neptune's shell. And so this is where we're at on the exterior. There's a lot on the exterior still to go. Free drinks helped you survive the night. Well, there you go. Free drinks, free food. That's always a winner. And, yeah, so like I said, we're doing Adobe style. And this is where the inside is at. I'll even go to tab mode here. Aw, thank you, Micah. So yeah, and then on this side we've got a little bathroom. And then on this side, I managed to squeeze in a little kind of nook for like reading or something. And so that is kind of where we're at. We did all this today. I'm probably going to have to end stream before long now that I'm looking at the time. for me, because I do work tomorrow. Ugh. Leo wants fetch. Hold on. You see it? You see it? Go get it. Yeah, this is all just today, streamed today. So yeah, we've pretty much completed the downstairs. I got the floor plan set up for the upstairs, so we'll have a bathroom, master bedroom, kids bedroom. And then I'll have the entire outside left to do. So still a good amount of like landscaping type stuff to do, but I'm pretty satisfied with the progress made. I do kind of want to do a little more. I might go until 10 my time, and then we'll raid out, which is just about 20 minutes from now. So I'll probably stream for 20 more minutes. We'll see what we can get done in that time. This is a small enough build that I feel like I might be able to even get this furnished in that time. So let's look for a bed for this part here. I'll have to play test to make sure this bed works, but I think it should, because this spot is frequently taken up by like nightstands and stuff, so it should still work theoretically right there. And then we can fit a little dresser right here. I was gonna do wood floor for the common area, and then of course tile in the bathroom. So let's look and grab our wood. I like the antique wood strip, but I want a lighter color. Maybe this one. And we can grab a rug to go in the bedroom as well. Keep things. And maybe even a fun mirror to stick in. There we go. All right, let's see. Right, rug. That's what I was looking for. I lost my train of thought, but I found it again. So I'm thinking maybe that, like so, or we can turn it, but I think the other way is gonna be just a little bit better. And then I'm gonna grab the same stucco I used downstairs. Oh shoot, there's a step there. Well, you know, we can fix that. Because Neptune's rules did not actually say we couldn't change platforms inside. There we go. But what I might do on the shower side, let's bring it down one step. Because then I can use the wet shower if I want right there. Possibly. All right, let's come back. Here we go. Then, for some reason, they always give you, like, this gap. You don't need the gap. And then we just need, like, a little artwork or something to go over the head of the bed. Even something simple. Oh, I love this. Let's do that one. And then just a little bit of clutter here. Let's do the baskets. Bye, Cray. Have a wonderful night. Sweet dreams. Mwah. Let's see. There we go. Now I can add more clutter. Hmm. Forgot about that. Okay. Okay. We'll stuff some sort of plant in that corner so it's not quite so empty. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I can't really think of any art that would actually fit in the bathroom, so it's gonna be just a tiny bit bare. But, alright. I'm just slightly past 10, but I have successfully furnished the entire house. So all I really have left is the outside, which I may or may not do off stream. So yeah, that is the house. And I think that is where I'm going to leave it for today. Yeah, and I'll either work on the outside next stream or I'll finish it and we'll start the next shell challenge next week. But I think this is where I'm going to leave things for the night. I will save the game because I realize I haven't really saved at all. So I should do that. And yeah, we'll see who's on to raid. Let's see here. Who's Pan's playing House Flipper? Kev the Builder. Pacific Creative. Let's see. We've rated both Pipichi. Well, Pipichio's doing Little Misfortunes. That doesn't really fit. Oh, someone just ended stream. Okay. Alright, so Pacific Creative, she usually raids out about this time, but we could try to raid her. Unless someone has a suggestion on where we should go. But see. Oh, no, she finished for the day. She's got stream is offline. So yeah, she has raided out already. It looks like. Okay. Yeah, she's already raided out. So let's see. I don't know anybody who's currently building in The Sims right now. There's Tragic Glamour's building. I'm looking at my recommended channels, but unless anybody has a suggestion on where we should go. And okay. There's Lainey Plays who's doing a treehouse build. Let me look. Yeah, I mean, she looks fun. So why don't we, let's see. Why don't we raid Lainey Place today? She's looking cozy. So anyone who wants to continue things, continue watching, can continue the cozy vibes. Absolutely, Bluma. Thank you for hanging out with me and building with me. For anyone who's been doing their own builds while I did mine. But we'll give a shout out. Let's go make a new friend with Lainey Plays. And yeah, absolutely, Domino. I love hearing about people's builds, especially when we're building at the same time, because it's just like playing together. So if you are a follower, grab the first raid message. If you are a subscriber, grab the second raid message. And we're gonna make a new friend and go spread some cozy lotus love. And yeah, let's go check out this treehouse build she's working on. So I'm gonna start the stream, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. My next stream will be next Tuesday for Sims gameplay, continuing our Foster to Adopt challenge. So I hope to see you then, but if not, I'm sure I'll see you around the internet very, very soon. Bye. Let's see. Let's see. Oh shoot.